and welcome to Anne Marie's Workshop. My name is Anne Marie, and I love to make things with joy. And this is my year-end wrap-up of 2023. I'm going to do a split screen so that I can show you my makes of the year while I talk about some of my favorite things and some of the experiences of this year. First of all, let me start with some of the highlights of the years and some of the low spots. Some of the high spots were, I hosted my first internet online sewing challenge. It was so much fun. I enjoyed it so much. So many people participated and did some wonderful items, and I'm really grateful to everyone who participated. That was one of my high points. Another high point was I was able to sew an entire wardrobe for my daughter Sarah in reverse so that she would be able to travel around the world like she usually does, doing her work. I also got to get off the reservation and do quite a bit of traveling this year. There was 2 trips to Ocherias and 1 trip to Egypt. That was amazing. Now, the best part is all along the way, I was supported by the wonderful clothes that I got to sew this year. And it made me so happy to be well turned out, colorful, comfortable in the clothes that I made. Another great thing that happened this year is that this channel grew to 2,000 subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have had so much pleasure making these videos. And to know that you appreciate them really, really, really counts with me. Now, let me tell you about 2 downsides this year. I got COVID in May. Yeah, exactly. After 4 years and 4 boosters. That's how it is. And it really set me back a few weeks. I've never been that sick, or at least I thought, until I got dengue fever. I felt like I was in the Poisonwood Bible book. I've not been sick that much in this life. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, Lord. But I got dengue fever, and it knocked me on my cute little tush for weeks, right in the middle of Dress-A-Girl. And right before I went to Egypt. So there were 2 major illnesses in 1 year that I've never had before. Now, before I talk about my favorites, I want to say my thank yous and my gratitude this year. First of all, to my subscribers. My subscribers have been so loyal. They come back week after week. Whatever weird thing I'm sewing, whatever thing I'm interested in, and I'm so grateful because without you, this channel wouldn't have been here and happened. The next people I want to thank are my kids. They have been putting up. Anne Marie's Workshop has been going on for a long time other than on this YouTube channel. And they've been super supportive. Some have even sent me fabric. Some have taken me to places. And they're always very positive. And they're my muses. I love dressing my 3 girls. And I'd also want to thank my personal friends who call me regularly and check in on me and are always interested in what I'm working on in the workshop. And I want to thank them too for making this a really great year. Next, I want to thank my fellow creators on YouTube and in the world. I get such inspiration by following so many creators and what they do. I don't even have to sew the things they sew. I just love being able to be taken away for a time. I like to watch the video all the way to the end. I like to see what people are making. I'm nosy that way. And I'm also interested in different ways of expressing yourself through your craft. Now, I enjoyed my challenge so much, but 2 of the companies that contributed to them were Charm Patterns by Gertie and Pattern Fantastique. They generously supplied 6 prizes of PDF patterns, and it made such a difference to be able to offer things like that. Now, as an expat who lives abroad, I have to say an acknowledgement and a special thank you to Ping's Fabric and Pablo's Fabric based in Jamaica. Because if it was not for them, I would be severely limited in the amount of things I could make. It's always a treat to go in these stores. They're very different. They offer very different stock, but I'm up for it. And I love going through their stores and creating things. Now, really, I'm kind of like a sports sewer. If I add up how many garments I've made, and I'll tell you that at the end of the video, I'm kind of a sports sewer. I love to sew just for the joy of it. So because of that, I don't really need any fabric, but who needs fabric? We just want fabric. Now, as for online fabric, I get a lot of stuff from Fabric Mart. I always love the surprise when it comes in the mail. And I also have bought quite a few things from Temu. Lots of buttons and sewing supplies because my button selection is very limited here in Jamaica. Now, one of the YouTube sites that I use a lot is the Fold Line featuring Kate, and it is a store that houses all the patterns that are kind of in circulation with a special emphasis on independent, small label pattern companies. Now, I love this because as much time as I love to spend looking for new things to make, it is so great to have all of these designers presented to me every Sunday morning. And so because I do a lot of PDF, because I'm located here in Jamaica, I really love their breakdown and their new pattern companies that they bring to my attention. Now, another heartfelt thank you is to my Zoom Friday Night Sew meeting group. We meet every Friday night on Zoom and have such a wonderful time. Sometimes we're up until midnight sewing and talking about our inspirations, and we've really become close, and they inspire me. I usually, when I attend the meeting, when I start it, I get out my notepad because someone in this group is going to tell me something I haven't seen before, and I love us being supportive of one another. Now, the next one I want to thank is my friend Linda, who is my sponsor, because I have issues with sugar. I don't know if you could tell. And she has been my friend for almost 9 years now. And we just happen to love sewing together. So when we talk in the morning, every morning, we're usually at a sewing machine or talking about what we're going to sew. And I want to say a special thank you to her for all her support all these years. And finally, I want to say thank you and gratitude to my father. I'm not supposed to be retired yet. This should be my last year of teaching. I should be retiring in June of next year, but due to the tragedy of my parents' illness, I got 5 extra years of laughing and sewing, and it was a sacrifice. It was hard to get here. It was a lot of work. I never worked so hard in my life, guys. I packed up so many things and shipped so many things by sea. But there have been so many bonuses, this extra time with my dad, and he is so accepting of my sewing. He walks past my sewing room and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Sewing." And he's like, "Okay." And he is super supportive. And so I appreciate him. I appreciate this location. I appreciate their dream that they had, my parents. And I only wish my mom was here to be with us while we're going through this stage of life. So heartfelt thanks to him. Let me tell you about my favorite things I made this year. So those are my favorite makes of 2023. They totaled 154 in all. I don't know what to say. All I can tell you is I enjoyed making every single one, even the few that flopped. And the ones that flopped for me sang for someone else. So I'm looking forward to next year, 2024, and what I'll be inspired to make. I already have a bunch of ideas. So come along for the ride. Like, subscribe, and share if you enjoy this content. And I will be back on soon. Enjoy your holiday. January's coming up. All right, take care. Sew yourself happy.